Okay, hi everyone. Today we'll discuss the topic vector. So vector and creating vectors. Next, some vector methods. We will study enumeration also. Okay, we start with the topic vector. We start with the topic vector now. See, we already studied what is the use of array. So what is the use of array? We know how to create array in Java and what is the use of arrays. So array stores homogeneous elements, means you can store only one type of elements. You can say one type of element means, if you, for example, if you are creating an array of type integer, so you can store only integer type of variables. Okay, that is not possible to create any like string variables or char variables within a integer type variable. So integer type array. So what is see obviously these arrays plays an important role, because these are see you can see very powerful, you can say, but there are some cases, in certain cases they'll not fit your requirements. Like, so coming to the disadvantage of arrays, see if once you create an array, the size of array is fixed, so it will not dynamically extend or reduce the size of array. So you can store only, when you create an array of particular or specific size, so you can store only that much of element within that array. So this is one of the disadvantage, you can say. So to overcome these kind of so disadvantages, like we cannot access array element by particular index or specific index dynamically. So and you cannot store heterogeneous elements within array. So these kind of situations, so these are some disadvantages of array, and size of the array is fixed only. So to overcome these kind of situations, Java provides one more the concept called as a vector. So here what is the use of vector is similar to an array. Vector is, in generally, vector is similar to array, work as similar to array, means you can access the elements by using its index, and the only difference between array and vector is the vector size exceeds, if the maximum size of a vector exceeds, then it increases automatically. Okay, that is the use of vectors. So we'll see what is, how we create a vectors and what is the use with an example. Okay, so first, so the vector implements a dynamic array. Vector implements a dynamic array. So the meaning here is vector is similar to an array, but vector is a dynamic array. Vector is similar to an array, but vector is a dynamic array. We create a dynamic array by using a vector class. Okay, now this adding and removing element is easier. Why? Because by using some index value, by index value we have some standard vector class methods. We have a vector class methods. By using that vector class methods, we can access or we can add or remove some elements from by using a specific index. Okay, there are other so there are so many methods are available with a vector class. We'll see. Okay, next, vector extends automatically as it exceeds maximum size. As I said, so vector extends automatically means, so in case of array, if you declare any array of a specific size, so you cannot access, means the size of array is fixed. Even though if you want to store more element, so more element than the specific size, so it is not possible with arrays. Okay, but in case of vectors, the vector extends automatically as it exceeds the maximum size. So for example, you have declared a vector of size 5 and you want to store more than 5 elements, like if you want to store 8 elements, so you can, it is possible dynamically, means automatically the size of vector exceeds. As you go on storing the elements more than the size of vector, it go on see increasing the value of a size value of a vector. So this is the most important benefit of a vector. So vector stores object. Primitive data type cannot be stored into vectors. So here vector stores object. So every element we store in a vector act as a object. Every element we store in a vector array, so that is considered as a object. Okay, primitive data type cannot be stored into vectors, so it is not like primitive data types. For example, primitive data types like integer, character, or floating point numbers, you can see. So for example, if you store integer values 1 2 3 4 something etc, so those are considered. If you store these primitive type, so even though just we imagine that we imagine that 1 and 2 are integer value, but we store in a vector, so those are converted into an object, and those numbers are treated as an object. So excuse me, those values, those integer values are converted into object and stored. So now if you store this integer value within a vector array, so those numbers are treated as objects, not a primitive data types values. Okay, they must be converted into object type using a wrapper class. So we see what is the wrapper class in next topic. We have this topic mentioned in syllabus. We'll study in the next topic. So just remember, they must be converted into object type. So every element which you want to store in a vector, they must be converted into an object type using a wrapper class. So wrapper classes are used to create a primitive data type into an object type. So that is the use of a wrapper class. So see here, they must be converted into object type. Means, so if you want to store any value or any data or any variable or any value, so if you want to store in a vector array, so those should be converted into a type of object. Okay, so see next point, vector can have its contents iterated by the enhancer for loop. So we have a, see here, vector can have a contents iterated by the enhancer for loop. Means there are two types of for loops. One is simple for. So in the simple form, first is initialization, next is a condition, next increment or decrement. This is a simple form of for loop. So looping, for looping. So one more is the enhancer for loop, like for each. For each is also enhancer for loop. Okay, so we'll see two types of for. Next we'll see what this is the vector. This is regarding the vector. So just remember, vector is similar to an array. So but only difference is the vector implements and dynamic array. Means vector class is used to create a dynamic array. Okay, so the one more the one more feature of a vector is adding and removing elements is easier, because we have some standard method within a vector class. By using those methods, we the removing elements and adding elements are very easy. So next, vector extends automatically. Extends automatically means if its size, see if the vectors see if you want to store a more than vector size, okay, specified size, so it vector automatically exceeds its maximum size, means it increases its size. Okay, next, vector stores objects. Okay, vector stores object. So the vector stores object means every element we store in a vector, those are considered as those are treated as objects. Even though if you store any integer values, char values or string values, those all considered as objects. Okay, they must be converted into object type using a wrapper class. Okay. So wrapper class, you know what is a wrapper class, is used to create a primitive data type into a object type. Next, vector can have its contents iterated by the enhancer for loop. So enhancer for loop means it support you can iterate the vector elements through the enhancer for loop. Enhancer for loop means the for each. One of the example for enhancer for loop is a for each. Now we'll see how to create vector. So here, the creating a vector, it's a general form. So class vector, I should not create write a class keyword, just write a vector type. See here, using this vector class, using this class vector, we are creating a vector. So here the E denotes the type of data it stores. E means enumeration type. Okay, E is the type of data it stores. Just remember, E is enumeration type and E denotes the type of data it stores. Now we have a different vector constructors, various vector constructors. Those are standard vector constructors available in vector class. So the first one is vector. This is a default constructor vector. So what is the use of this vector? When you create any object any object of a vector, or create an array of create an vector array by using this constructor, what happens? Creates a empty vector with the initial size 10. If you use this if you create any vector array without specifying its size, so the initial size should be 10. The initial size it allocates, initial memory it allocates is at 10. Okay, so constructor is vector int size. So here the difference between the first and second is, first one is a default, it creates a vector of a size 10, but in case of second one, you should specify, you must and should specify the size here. Okay, if we use this constructor, you must and should specify the size of a vector. Now what happens, it creates a vector array with a specified size. For example, if you specify size as 12, so vector create an vector array of size 12. It can store 12 elements. If you want to store, if you go on storing more elements, its size is increased. Okay. So the next constructor is vector. The parameters are size and increment. Okay, int increment. Okay. So here these two parameters do. So first, this constructor is used to create an vector array of vector of size specified within a size. So for example, if you specify the size as a 10 and increment as a 2, what happens? See, it creates a vector with a specified size. It creates a vector with a specified size. Next, and the increment vector size if it exceeds the maximum size value. So how much you want to increment every time you add a new value. For example, if you mentioned a size as a 12 and you mentioned as increment value as a 2, for see, size is 12 and increment value is 2. So once you see, if you already stored a 12 elements, you stored a 12 elements within a vector, and you go on storing 2 more element or 3 elements. So every time you insert one element more than the maximum size. For example, if you insert a 30th element, the size is incremented by 2. The size of vector is incremented by 2. For example, if you store 15th element, size is 12. If you store 15th element, means at the increment, now the size of vector is 16, because you specified the increment value as 2, means every time the vector is incremented by 2. Okay, that is the use of this increment. Okay, next, see, just remember, this creates a vector with a specified size, and next, and increment the vector size if it exceeds the maximum size value. Increment the vector size if it exceeds maximum size value. Increment specifies the number of elements to be allocated each time that the vector is resized upward. Vector is resized upward means incremented. Okay, this is the use of this vector constructor, third one. So the next is vector collection extension. So just remember, so it is see, so this vector create an vector which stores the collection, one of the collection elements. So by using this vector constructor, it creates a vector and it stores values from any collection framework. So collection framework are array list or a linked list, map, hashed. So just see the collection framework. If you want to study collection framework, means it's a very vast and very big concept in Java, collection framework, and it is important also, but anyway. So collection framework is not mentioned for your syllabus, so you just study this. So the vector constructors. Okay, so no any depth explanation is not required. Okay, so this is all about vectors, how to create a vectors. So we'll study, see, there are some notes like, so all vectors starts with the initial capacity. Every vector you create by using a default constructor. See, the all vector starts with an initial capacity. See, when you create an vector by using this first constructor, it starts with the initial capacity. Okay, after this initial capacity is reached, the next time that you attempt to store an object in the vector, next time if you want to see that you attempt to store an object in the vector, object means element in the vector automatically allocates space for that particular object plus extra room for additional object. As I said, here the maximum value is 10. If you store 11th element, the vector size is incremented, means doubled, means vector size suddenly it increments by 20. If you store the size is 10, the initial size is 10. If you store 11th element, then the vector size becomes 20. So that is the the main advantage of a vector. Okay, next, by allocating more than just the required memory, the vector reduces the number of allocation that must take place. By allocating more than just the required memory, the vector reduces the number of allocation that must take place as the vector grows. This reduction is important because allocation is costly in terms of time. Even though, as I said, it increments. Even though the memory management is the most important concept in Java. Memory management. So it also reduces unallocated space. For example, if your size is 10 and if you store 11th element, the size of a vector becomes 20, but the 9 spaces, the element for so 9 more element, the space for 9 elements becomes an empty, and the memory is wasted. But Java will do is Java reduces the number of allocation that must take place and vector goes. So this reduces the memory. Okay, that is what we call the garbage collection. So if you don't specify an increment, the vector size is doubled by each allocation cycle. As I said, in this constructor type, so size is 10, increment is 2. If you do not mention any increment size, for example, if you used this constructor to create a second constructor to create a vector array, for example, you mention only size. If the size is 10, and once again, for example, take it as size as a 12, you specified the size as 12, and you store the 30th element or a 14th element. See, 30th element means then the vector size become doubled, means the vector size, if you store only one element of 30th element, the size is 12. If you store a 30th element, this vector size becomes 24, because the initial size was a 12 and it is doubled, and that the size becomes 24. Okay, so now, so there are some these are some methods with respect to the vector class. So there are some methods with respect to the method with respect to a vector class. The first one is add element. We'll see an example how these methods are used in reality in program. Okay, void add element. The return type of this is void, and add element, if you have a vector v dot add element and the element, so element may be anything. Okay, so E denotes here the enumeration type. We'll study what is enumeration later. Okay, so here the add element. So what is the use of add element? The object specified by the element is added to the vector. So here the element specified. So if you store any integer value or a string value, so then just for example, your vector is v dot add element, then value. So the value should be passed here. So this adds the element into a vector array. Next is int capacity. See here, int capacity, the return type is integer. This int capacity method returns the capacity of the vector. This capacity means the size of the vector. Okay, so that is why this return type of this method is integer only. So it returns the capacity of vector. Capacity means the size of a vector. Next, object clone return. So you see, the use of clone is returns a duplicate of the invoking vector. Means the cloning concept in Java is clone means, the general meaning of clone means duplicate. Clone means duplicate. So see, if you call this clone method with respect to any vector, for example, we have a vector v, and we call the clone method with respect to v, means v dot clone. So it returns the duplicate of a v, vector v, and you assign to one more vector object. Okay, so that is why the return type of a clone method is object only. Next, boolean contains. So boolean contains, so this contains method contains returns a boolean type. So boolean is always true or false. Okay, contains the element. Object element means the element. So this contains method is used to check whether this particular element is present within a vector. So this contains method used to check whether this particular element present within a vector, that particular vector. For example, we have a vector v, and we call this contains method v dot contains any element within that particular vector array. So if it contains, it returns a true value. If it is not present within that vector array, so it returns a false value. See here, the for a description. So it returns a true if element contained by the vector. It returns a true if the element specified here contained by the vector, means contained within a vector array, and it returns the false value if it is not. Okay, it returns a false value if it is not. Next, e. So here the element at index. So e means enumeration type, so it returns enumeration type. See here, the element at index. So element at index. So see it returns the element at the location specified by the index. Means it returns the object or enumeration. So for example, you have a vector v. For example, you have a vector v dot element at 0th index. If you mention a 1, for example, if you mentioned index as a 1, if specified the index as a 1, v dot element at index 1, so it returns the index 1 value. It returns the object present, the element present within a index 1. So that is what that in the description here returns the element at the location specified by the index. Okay. Okay, so the next method is first element. See, the return type of this is enumeration, e or object. So the first element. See, for example, if you have a vector v, and if you call this first element method with respect to the vector, it returns, see, the first element. V dot first element means whichever the element present in the first location, first index, that is returned by this method. For example, you have a vector v, and if you call this particular method with respect to that vector, for example, v dot first element, then the first element within that vector is returned. Okay, that is the use of the first element method. Next is the int index of object. See here, so index of see what is the use of this is returns the index of the first occurrence of element. If the object is not in the vector, -1 returns. So the index of element, for example, the return type is int. We are checking what is the index of any particular element. For example, if we have a vector v and index of some element, index of any element, if that is present within that particular vector array, it returns the index value. What is the index value of that particular element? That is why this is the return type is int. Index value is returned. If in case that is not present within a vector class, that particular element is not present within a vector class, it returns a -1. Okay, it returns minus 1. So next, void insert element at. So void insert element at. So the return type void means you are just inserting. So insert element at. So here is the element next index. So see here the insert element at the specific index. If you want to insert any element at a specific index, for example, you want to insert an element at the fifth index, so you can mention like element value, element object value, or element value and index here. If you want to store at the fifth place, you just mention the index as 5 and the element value. Okay, so here in the description, adds element to the vector at the location specified by the index. Adds the element location specified in the index. Okay, next, boolean is empty. So boolean is empty means, so boolean is see here, where is it? So see, boolean is empty. Is empty is used to check whether the vector is empty or any elements are present. So here it returns the true. The method is empty returns true if the vector is empty, and returns false if it contains one or more elements. This means, for example, you have a vector v and you call is empty method with respect to vector v, that is v dot is empty. If there are any elements, only if there is only one element present within a vector v, then it returns false value. If it is empty means no elements within a vector array v, then it returns true value. Okay, when it returns true if no elements are present within a any specific vector with respect to the vector you are calling the is empty method. Okay, if it is empty means no elements are present, then it returns true value, and if any elements are present within that particular vector, it returns false value. Okay, next is a last element. Okay, we have a first element method here, we have a last element method here. So similarly it returns the first element. Okay, it returns as last element method returns the last element in the vector. Okay, next, int last index of object. See, it returns the index of the last occurrence of the element. If the object is not in the vector, -1 is returned. Last index. See here, last index of objects, any specific element, it returns the index of a last occurrence of the element. When it is last occurred in the element of the element. If the object is not in the vector means this is if you mentioned any element that is not present in the vector, it returns -1. Okay, otherwise it returns the index value, last index value. Next, one more is void. See here, void remove all elements. So here, remove all elements. So just remember, remove all elements is to empty the vector. V dot remove all elements. If you call remove all elements method with respect to v, for example v is a vector, if you call this particular method by the v dot remove all elements, so it empty means it deletes all the elements from the vector v. Okay, these are the some methods. These are some methods available in vector class. Just remember what is a vector, what is the vector, definition of vector, what are the features of a vector. Next, how to create a vector, then the constructors within a vector class. Next, some methods. Just go through this notes, important. Next, these are some methods are important. Okay, next we'll see an example of how vector is used. Okay, so here in this example we'll see. Okay, so this vector class is available in util package, java.util package. Okay, we created a class called vector demo. Okay, vector demo. Next, see here, we created a vector v of type integer. So as we said in the first, as I said in the first, see here, vector e. So e denotes the type of data it stores. So here it stores this vector v here. In this program it stores integer type. So now see here, by using v new vector, so integer type, and the initial size is to increment by 2. Initial size is to increment by 2. This, see here in the third constructor, int size, int increment. Okay, we use this constructor. So initial size of this v vector is 3. Initially it can store only 3 elements. If you so the increment by 2 means if you store fourth element, it is directly incremented by 2, means if you store fourth element means then the vector size become 5, because at every time it increments by 2. Now here it prints the initial v size or a v dot capacity. You can say, you can write capacity. Okay, v dot size or v dot capacity. Just we have a size capacity here, we'll write size here. So what is the output? We'll see. Initial size is 0, capacity is 3. Why initial size is 0? Means, see, initial size is 0. Size means how many elements are stored? Still 0 element. So that is why it is returning 0. But the capacity is 3, because see, we mentioned the size as, see, 3. That is why the difference between size and capacity. So v dot size means still no elements. We haven't stored any elements within a vector v. That is why size is returning 0. But in case of capacity, it returning 3, because the size is, the capacity of vector is 3. Next, v dot add element. So add element method is used to add an element within a vector. So we are storing 1, integer value 1. Now this integer value 1 is treated as an object. Okay, 2 is also treated as an object. Any value we store, any element we store in a vector, it is treated as an object. Okay, now first we are storing 1. Next, v dot add element 2, v dot add element 3. So the maximum size of a vector is 3. Now we are adding one more element, that is the fourth element. Now what is the see, what is the size of now the size of is a size of vector is, the capacity of vector is, see, now this initial is 3, now we stored 4, now it becomes 5. So it should be, capacity should be 5 only. See here it printed 5, because when we add a fourth element, the increment value is 2. That is why it is incremented by 2, means 3 plus 2, 5. So the capacity after 4 addition of a 4 number is 5. So means the capacity becomes 5. If we add v dot element 5, now capacity is 5, we added one more element 5. So now it is not going to the vector size is not incremented, vector capacity is not incremented, because this already incremented 2 value. See, the size is 2 is incremented when we add a fourth element. So you can easily store 5, so no increment is required. So now if you print current capacity after adding fifth element, the current capacity is 5 only. Current capacity is 5. Okay, because it is when we insert a fourth element, it increments by 2. So now it can hold 2 values, two more values. Okay, now current capacity here is 5. Now if we add 6th and 7th element, 6th and 7th element, okay, what happens? It again, once again it increments the size by 2. Now previously the capacity was, here the capacity of a vector was 5, but after adding these two values 6 and 7, now the capacity becomes 7. Capacity becomes 7. If you add 6 only, then also the capacity becomes 7. If you add 2 more elements, then also capacity becomes 7. The current capacity here you printed, the current capacity it printed 7. Okay, next, see 10 and 9, we just adding two more elements, 9 and 10. Now the capacity becomes 9 because it increments by 2. 7 plus 2 is, previously here it was 7, the capacity was 7. If we add two more elements, increment by 7 plus 2, 7 plus 2. Now the size becomes, the capacity becomes 9. Okay, 11 and 12. See 10, 11. The capacity becomes 11. Okay, now here the use of the first element, it returns the first element, so last element. Okay, what is the first element here? First element is 1, last element is 12. Should print first element as a 1, last element as 12. Okay, next we use the contains method. So v dot contains 3, yes, it should return true value because we have 3 within a vector. Okay, it should return true. If it returns 2 means vector contains 3 should be printed. Vector contains 3 is printed. If you write here, for example, if I write here 20, then this contains return false. This statement is not executed. Vector contains 3 is not executed. So that is why we write here 3. And this statement is executed because it returns true value. Now enumeration, we'll see what is enumeration. So enumeration is a constants. We'll see enumeration is a set of constants. We'll discuss in the next unit, or see within this unit we'll see next topic. Okay, enumeration. Here enumeration, v dot elements, it returns all the elements within a vector v into the v enum. V enum is the enumeration type. So now why here, so v enum has more elements, so has more elements are there. So this prints until it has more elements. It returns true when the elements are present within a enum. It returns false when this enum becomes empty. So this has more elements used to iterate through the enum array. Enum means the constant, set of constants. Okay, so the next element, it prints the next element. Okay, see here we are just popping the v elements within a enum, and we are just printing those elements here. Elements into vector is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 12. So this is all about the vectors. Just go through this example. Okay, so thank you.